Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Triggerteshi here with another video. This one isn't really a modding video, but more of a modding PSA. And something pretty important that I just discovered. Yesterday, I uploaded a video about a Rainbow RGB mod that edits a material file, but for some reason, the mod still works online. Well, I guess in my case, my mod worked online, and I didn't understand why until today. Another modder by the name of Feels Good made a Tron mod right here, and this actually has the issue of not working online. And I was curious, like, okay, so why doesn't this work online but mine does? So he asked me for some help, and what I ended up trying to figure out was that it. So, for example, this weapon skin is the base SMG. Right? All you need is normal SMG. You don't need a weapon skin for this. My 9mm mod needs the Horzine pistol skin. So what's actually going on here is I figured out is the base game files. So if I were to go to, let's close the skins because these are skins. If I go into the 9mm, here's the base file, right? This is untouched because it has to remain untouched. There's absolutely no reason for these files to be edited because skins don't, they're not a completely separate file. All skins are textures and materials that apply themselves over existing weapons. So the game just needs to make sure that you're not touching the base files. But for some reason, it doesn't care what you do with weapon skins because skin just gets applied over. And this can be seen as stupid, but I imagine it's more of a security measure for consistency because you know if I wanted to go and edit let's say Zeds, there's actually a pretty common hack out there called a color aimbot hack, where if I wanted to, I could paint all of the Zeds head red, make a tool that identifies the color, and then I can make an aimbot off of that. That's a good reason to allow this. But as for weapons, you have to keep the system consistent. These are the base files. Skins can be changed pretty often. They have to be fixed or added. I'm not really sure why the reason is, but it's pretty straightforward that weapon skins that apply themselves over an existing content, they can be modified, and the game doesn't really seem to care what's going on here. So the really thing I could think of is editing materials and textures for existing weapon skins should work online. From what I've tested, I've edited a couple of the other materials just to change the glow on the medic weapons, and they work just fine online. I went ahead and changed the default one, just a simple color change on the base model, the base materials, and it didn't work. Doesn't work online. So what I have to conclude here is that you cannot edit the material for anything other than the stuff in the skins folder and expect them to work online because it just simply won't. Textures, I imagine, should be fine. I believe I've done a couple of texture mods with no materials on the base models that do work, but for the most part, materials are only going to work with glowing modifiers on weapon skins, at least from what I've tested. And you're probably thinking like, well, shit, I can't make a skin for the base model. Well, I have thought of a workaround. So let's go back to Steam and let's go to the market. And what you can do is let's go look for Killing Floor 2 right here. Sort by price, cheap. So I don't care about cranes. Okay, so let's look at this. AA12 Woodland Mint. It's only 3 cents. This is a mint condition gun, but we don't care about that. We care that it's really cheap and it's a AA12 Woodland. So I went back to the SDK and I want to go ahead and search Woodland. And hopefully the SDK doesn't crash on me because that's what it's been doing lately. So here we go. Woodland AA12 first person mint condition. That's what we see on Steam. And people can get a hold of this really easily because it's really common. So what you can do is edit this skin right here. So editing this skin, people could just get it on the Steam market for 3 cents, really cheap. If they don't have 3 cents, they could just go to their inventory and they could just they go to Steam inventory because you get these cards. Usually they're worth more than 3 cents. Like here, 12 cents right there. And then you could go buy the skin. You could find a mod that modifies the skin, and then everything should be fine. You could completely mod it, change the textures, fully edit the materials. Like if you didn't know, my 9mm, it doesn't stop on just. So here's the material. Let's get rid of that search engine. It doesn't stop from here. It actually goes down to this core file. So find this in the content. Open this up. And then maybe it's this one? Yeah, it's this one. Open this up. It actually goes all the way down and edits this tree with my 9mm RGB mod. And it works online. So what I want to say is, instead of making weapon skins for, the base model, like, don't any of these stuff. These are the core base game files. Don't make weapon skins for these. Go ahead and find a cheap skin on the Steam market, and then just go ahead and edit that. So, for example, you want to make an A12 skin, take this woodland one. It's only 3 cents because it's so common. Find it in this list, and this is what you want to edit right here. That way, when you make a mod for this, it could be edited online. Now, if you wanted to have the base skin, you could just go and grab the base skin from the A12 right here, grab the textures from this one, and then apply it to the woodland textures that we saw in the skin folder. You could do that. That way you get a default look and you add a glow to it. Or if you want to just make a fully custom skin that'll work online, this is how we're gonna have to do it. Because editing any base model with materials just won't work. And I believe even editing textures for certain files won't work. So your best bet is to modify an existing skin. And this is good for both ways. For one, it makes your mod compatible online. Now, some people have reported that their mods, when they download and install it, still don't work online. And this only affects a really small number of people. And I haven't figured out what has caused this yet. If you have issues with this, like my 9mm mod, please report that to me. And that way I could do a survey and figure out what's actually going on. But for the most part, using a existing weapon skin that overrides the base model does work for mods. So for modders out there, this is what you're probably gonna want to do. So stop modding the default weapon and actually get into modding these custom skins. And I have a loading bar. SDK is probably gonna crash right now. No, it hasn't. But hopefully this has covered it for you. In a nutshell, skins work online. Modifying these work online. Modifying any of these other base files will not allow you to go online. That's just the way the system works. That's how it checks the files. And this only applies to weapons because weapons are the only thing with weapon skins. Editing materials and textures for almost anything else will not work online as far as I've tested. So hopefully this is good information for you guys. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good day.